Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are here with the first of, I think, 4 episodes, or maybe 3, I can't remember off the top of my head. Macross 7 Encore. I believe this one's called On Stage. And if recollection serves, these are episodes that weren't put in anywhere into the main line, but they take place anywhere randomly in the main line of the show. Macross 7, of course.
Mhm.
I think I mentioned this before. Encore and the movie are that way. Like the movie is supposed to take place somewhere between like episode 38 and 41. So, before the episodes start getting good. So, I don't know. If I thought about it, maybe I would have proposed that we watch the movie somewhere randomly between episodes 38 and 41, just to plop it in chronologically where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Uh,
But again, it's not a complaint of if it isn't in the main thing, then whatever context it brings, it's like, why do you put it in the series? You know? Well,
yeah,
see,
at the same time,
this
it's
seems
like watching
this seems to be.
Zero and then having context in 7 for this weird shit.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, if we didn't do it chronologically, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? And I would actually be upset about it because it's like, it'd be like if Star Trek went to, like, I don't know, a magic universe and talked to, like, Satan and a wizard or something. That's a joke that
Yeah.
happens in the animated series. That's why I don't like the
Yeah.
animated series.
I like some episodes in the animated series.
Sure, like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids episode. That actually happened. I'm not actually covering this up for Lessons. It's actually pointed right at the mic. He's hearing me louder than he normally would.
I see. I don't remember all the episodes, but yeah, I think I remember that one.
I only know those 2. Those are enough to
Yeah.
make me like, no, this isn't the Star
I,
Trek
I
for me.
I like the one about the negative universe when everything was white and the stars were black. That was cool. I mean, a pocket universe to get trapped into.
Really pushing that budget with a photo negative, aren't they?
Yeah. Huh?
Look, man, we're out of budget this month. What can we do? Well, I guess I could reverse the colors of everything. How much is that going to cost us? Do we still have ink in the photocopier? Nothing.
Let's see what context, if anything, this brings to the story.
I'm sure nothing. Like,
Yeah,
the plus
it's Macross
episodes.
7.
Well, I mean, the plus episodes actually helped, like, a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hard to think of right now of one that did, but I know a couple did.
Vivitas, she was
Oh,
traveling
for
around
you, that
and
does nothing for me. Oh, the expedition to the planet, seeing them
yeah,
all get
that's certainly
captured.
yeah. Uh,
Maybe to some small degree, the propaganda for the police department.
True. I guess we get a feel about how things were being done and
Oh,
the
it's
attitudes
still
and all.
complete lies to me. I think the police
Oh, I
department
mean,
got
yeah, true.
rocked initially by the infiltrators. I mean, it at least explains why the police aren't doing anything about it. That they tried, got fucking owned, and now they're like on the back foot for the rest of the show. Because they got fucking mechs, the infiltrators. We got these weird little car things. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what this is all about.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Can't get any audio though. Oh,
Yeah, the first thing I
that's
checked.
why.
The first thing I
That's
checked was
why.
literally see if I was muted.
You wanted more Macross 7? Here you go. Encore.
Is that what they were chanting?
Yeah.
Again, I was too focused on exactly what you were talking about. The sound. That's new. So what? Gonna be more new opening bits? I mean, we've seen the opening 49 times. I think we're going to spot anything that's not the same. Nothing so far.
Also, wonder which planet was Basara walking around? Earth or something? Oh, that's new.
So 2 new things.
And that's earlier, too. That's new.
I think it's implied to be Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they didn't put like any weird extra moons in the sky. Twice.
Yeah, I was like, did I just miss it and they repeated it? Oh, we're back to narration.
Of course, because it's randomly anywhere in the show.
Yeah.
そこで先端にある7つの大型居住艦の中には地球と同じように町があり公園があり川や丘もあり人々が普通に生活できるようになっている先端の中央にある居住艦はシティセブンと呼ばれ政治の中心でもあり他に工場艦3スターリゾート艦リビエラ
I was right.
ハリウッド農場艦サニーフラワー研究実験艦アインシュタイン統合軍訓練艦ビギンヒルがあり I
don't think the Force's training ship ever got mentioned before. I think we were in it in a Gamlin episode, but...
It's weird that Basara is supposed to be the main singer, but he's not in the center. I should have noticed that before. There's Flower Girl.
I think in the first episode he was in the middle.
Yeah.
Because he literally went parachute lands and everything.
こんにちは。コーヒーブレイクの時間がやってまいりました。今日は彗星のごとく現れ人気急上昇のロックグループファイヤーボンバーの魅力と隠された数々の謎を解明していきたいと思います。
本日はゲストとして
I should have been shot.
生ですものこんなことも。では改めてゲストのお二人をご紹介します。ファイヤーボンバーのプロモーター北条明子さん、音楽評論家のプリシコビッチさんのお二人においでいただきました。
よろしくお願いします。
Oh, and the Russian judge gives him a 2.
さんにお伺いしましょう。ファイヤーボンバーが初めて結成されたいきさつなどお話願いましょうか。
そうですね。
やはりリーダーのレイにとってバサラとの出会いがファイヤーボンバー
Oh, come on. They had to do that, didn't they?
Well, I mean, she's bridge crew. She's fine. She's an adult.
Oh, yeah, I thought for a second she was Mylene, but then the hair is different, yeah. And the ears.
Also, we're 3 degrees of being pulled through a window. We were in the screen behind them. Then pulled out of this screen.
Pinpecker. Hey, to remind me of the Pinpeckers.
その中に若きレイ・ラブロックがいた。軍のエリートパイロットとして将来を嘱望されていたレイ・ラブロックは敵ゼントラーディと果敢に戦い。
So
that's some
old
music
school
from-
Zentradi mechs, by the way.
Yeah. And he was kicking ass.
Well, not really old school. It's 2030 Zentradi mechs.
パイロット仲間の中でもとりわけ親しいステファン少尉が
I've already got him on the board. I don't have to add in.
無二の親友を失ったレイはそれ以来戦いの虚しさを知り軍を去った。それからのレイは何をするのか
Refrescos.
自暴自棄に
Yeah, I was having a hard time parsing that in my head.
放浪の旅を続け
How about the Higar bar behind it?
俺は何のために来て
Yeah.
生
Is
きて
it
いる意味などない。
refreshments or refrescos? I don't know which one is supposed to be.
そんなある日
Oh, that's why it was in the opening.
レイは一人の少年と出会った。少年は数日何も食べていないのか痩せ衰えていた。
But the guy who would go on to eat dry leaves from the scare.
何か食べるものくれよ。さあ始まるぜサタデーナイト。
そういうなり少年は歌い出した。少年は長旅で疲れているようだ。しかし歌う少年の目は異様にギラギラと輝き出し、さらに驚いたことに、その
So he's been singing the same song.
Yeah, I
He
was
was a
saying
little kid.
it recontextualizes his trying to make the song better in the apartment when he's writing the notes and everything.
生きる気力をなくしていたレイの心に得体の知れぬ活力が湧いてきた。その少年の歌を聴いてレイの心に新たな生きる希望が生まれてきたのである。その少年こそ幼き日の
Why did they cut this from the series? This is important stuff.
どうですか
Because we'd never see them try to not fly into a sun otherwise.
さあレイから直接聞いたこと
How else were we going to fit that beach day episode in?
的すぎるような。
いずれにしろ昇進の霊を慰めたのが幼い日のバサラの音楽だった。霊はバサラのサウンドに感動し、それ以後生きる希望を音楽活動に
I guess maybe because it feels like an exposition episode.
幼いバサラも
Maybe.
Obstinately about facts that we already knew and didn't have to see.
家族のように手を取り合って暮ら
Well, we didn't see how they met.
Live together as a family.
ずっと一緒に暮ら
Yeah,
してるの
plus, yeah, that he's a.
続きは CM の後で。
何よいいとこなのに。ねえねえ美穂テレビ見てる？え？コーヒーブレイクよ。今面白いのやってる。
Yeah, I know. I was watching it.
見てる見てる。そうだろうと思って電話したのよ。ねえ明日少し早めに行ってデータ調べてみましょうよ。何の？
These two fucking moved on from Kinryu so fast. You'd think their names were Claudia.
面白そう。
I know Claudia never left, moved on.
She moved on.
He didn't.
She
She
was
didn't
like,
date anybody else.
and dating somebody else doesn't mean having anything to do with moving on. I mean, obviously it would be part of, but you don't have to.
I mean, the entire episode where she recounts how they meet and she would still hang up on him.
There was no episode of mourning between these two. They just, like, cried the episode he died and were making jokes the next episode.
Oh yeah, these guys, but not like.
Pies?
レイと幼いバサラは二人きりで演奏の旅を続けた。だが、二人の新しい
To be fair, from the outside it does look weird. Oh, he's had the keytar the whole time.
その旅は辛くも厳しいものだった。しかし、バサラにとってそれ以上に辛かったのは、自分たちの歌が人々に理解す
So why the fuck did Ray say he doesn't know Basar's backstory? Ray, you are his fucking backstory.
Yeah.
Who are you, lady? Pre-micronization of a fetus
I guess so.
with one-story knives.
いいリズム感だ。
この時、レイは大道芸師のビヒーダの動きを見て、才能を
Street performer. How'd she go from street fighter to street performer?
それから半年
I don't know. Maybe that's why they cut this episode. I mean, she's still hot, literally, but yeah.
Also, it very much seemed to me like she was human-sized when she was street fighting.
Yeah.
So how did she just micronize now? And that's when Ray died.
二人にとってこれはあまりにも不幸な出来事だった。
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like, that wasn't Ray Lovelock, that was just another guy named Ray.
全治3ヶ月の重傷を負った。しばらく音楽活動
Also, he never
できない
put him in school or anything?
I mean, they were literally busking, so I don't think they had the money for that.
バサラ、お別れだ。俺と一緒に旅をしてもお前のためにならん。これからは幸せに暮らすんだ。
やだよ、別れるなんて嫌だ。僕はレイと一緒にいるよ。歌が好きなんだ。
バサラ。
What happened to this Basara?
Yeah.
The one that tells people what they're thinking and feeling.
そうだ、バサラの言う通りだ。ここまでやってきて途中で投げ出すなんて。レイは幼いバサラに教えられた。
Unless this is all not true.
Probably.
Remember, it's the Russian judge that's giving us this information. How does he know?
Yeah, it could be just propaganda. You know?
Yeah, who animated it for the television show?
差し入れ持ってきたよ。やだ、泣いてるの？欲しかったの？お菓子。
バサラは歌った。懸命に歌った。
Because I mean, they've unsolved mysteries. This thing, right, where they're reenacting the whole thing he's talking about.
Yeah, they created this entire tragic past. Oh well, there's the reporter that was
I just assumed that was always
reporter.
I just always assumed that was the same reporter. I didn't realize it was 3 different reporters.
どうした？腹が減ってるのか？食いな。金はいらんよ。遠慮することはない。
おじさん、これでどれくらいパンがもらえるかな？
Back to a giant
そう
again.
いうことか。これを預かっとくよ。心配するな。お前たちがこの町を出ていくまでいつまでだっていい。朝昼晩好きなだけ食べに来な。あの姉ちゃんと一緒にな。
どうして？
Well, he can make also giant pies, I guess.
お前たちのサウンドをな。この店はいい指定席だ。
So if you eat some food while you're micronized and then you make yourself large again, are you differently hungry?
だが、それ以上に幼いバサラの小さな胸をときめかせるものがあった。それはこの町に来て初めて自分たちの歌を認めてくれる人がいる。
Yeah, I think this is cut because this is all bullshit. It doesn't fit anything that we know about Basara, which we don't know much.
Well, we know when he gets older, he goes back to being a vagrant, wandering around.
Yeah. Or never left being a vagrant.
この時の貴重な品を入手しました。
これです。これが幼い頃バサラが使っていた。
How could you locate it? You couldn't have. They'd be back on Earth.
ちょうだい。そっちいっぱいあるでしょ。それが好きなの。私も。ちょうだい。
その後、レイの怪我も治り、ビヒーダを新たなメンバーに加えた一行は音楽活動を続けていくのです。ところでアキコさん、ゼントラーディの巨人だったビヒーダはいつ頃マイクロン化したのですか？
さあ、いずれにしろ文化を持
We literally saw her play the drums a minute ago,
Yeah.
and then turn giant again.
ドラムを叩くようになるにはいろいろな苦労があったと思いますわ。
He doesn't seem to be struggling now.
I don't know. I think it's a cool little facet to add. The Centrati not having a culture of their own from the beginning, have a hard time learning culture. So it makes any Centrati musician that much more impressive.
But we've seen Centrati musicians before, even in Macross 2012. The drummers were giant-sized Centratis.
Yeah, which makes them that much more impressive.
Yeah. Or maybe just a, how can I say this? A prejudice, right? There's an assumption that they can't do it, you know?
私も全然わかりませんね。
そうですか。
そこで我が番組取材班はバサラが幼い頃に過ご
So you just go back and forth from Earth.
現地取材
Is that it?
を試みました。
I guess so.
現地に行っているジェス
So once again, we were never in any real danger. We could have just gone back to Earth at any point.
マクロスセブンセンターの皆さん、お元気で旅を続けていらっしゃることと思います。この映像届いてますでしょうか？あ、ものすごい風が吹き荒れてます。
Unless they're just communicating with a person on Earth, but they said they sent her there.
後ろにそびえ立つ山が
Mount Dream.
万年雪に覆われた厳しい自然の山に向かいながら、幼いバサラは一体どのように暮らし、どのようなことを考え歌っていたのでしょうか。私たち取材班はこの町のシティポリスやシティオフィスを訪ね、バサラに関する情報の収集に努めました。しかし全く無駄でした。バサラの家族、バサラの生い立ち、住居などバサラに関す
Then
る
maybe you're in the wrong
わ
town.
からないのです。しかし私たちはやっと1枚の写真を見つけました。バサラに関する唯一の手がかりは昔からこの土地にお住まいのこちらのおじいちゃんだけです。いかがですか、おじいちゃん。
おお、この若者じゃ。山に向かっていつも歌っていた幼子は確かに成長したこの青年じゃ。
バサラって変なとこに住んでたのね。うん。どうなってんのよ。レイまでいなくなっちゃった。
I wonder, are they gonna show us the first girl?
Probably.
Apparently, there was a couple of girls that joined this band that just left because of Basara, right? So Flower Girl was there before any of the other fans. Flower Girl's the first fan. She's already carrying flowers. For what? You've just heard them for the first time.
No. I think they're cutting back and forth between their past and their present. Like they're having that concert in the present while they're having the interview.
No, I know they're going back and forth because Mylene with the tank helmet on is in the present.
Yeah.
I'm just confused at some of the transitions.
Yeah, I think it's a transition also to the reality of what really was happening versus a story that they're telling. Right? This is the reality.
No. Remember Ray separated from him when he was younger? And now this is clearly older Basara, having met Ray again. Yeah, I guess that definitely has to be present day with that outfit.
Oh. So she wasn't.
Yeah, she's street fighting as a giant.
Yeah.
Why the red glowing bits when you actually already had blood on his face?
Oh, she killed her lover?
Did she?
Apparently.
I mean, he could be knocked out. I mean, it was like, what, 3 hits that he took?
But and this is so... the way they arrange all this is so confusing. It's like, what the heck?
Well, right, I mean, I can't say anything. I got confused once, but... every time I see Ray in his weird 90s getup, I can realize, oh yeah, no, that's the present. It's that Firebomber song that has no words.
Oh, it's the Saturday Night song too.
やがてミレーヌ・ジーナスを迎えることになるのですが、これからがまた波乱の日々なわけですね、アキコさん。彼らを見ているとわかるんですが、波乱というと何か違う感じがしますね。なんということでしょう。ファイヤーボンバーの謎に迫り、番組を続けてまいりましたが、たった今この時に何の予告もなくファイヤーボンバーのライブが始まった模様です。
I don't know if you count that as a concert.
私も知りませんわ。
I mean, maybe if they're on a lower floor or something, you could be doing that Beatles thing. You know, where they do the concert on top of the pub and everyone comes out to see. But you're like 20 stories up. I don't think that's a concert.
それが彼らの全てです。
ミレヌ来たか。
来たかじゃないわよ。なんで教えてくれなかったのよ。遅刻用が割り待ちされちゃったじゃない。
別に決めていたわけじゃないからな。
You don't just drop by with a full-ass drum kit.
Yeah.
They just found it up here and decided to jam.
違う。絶対違う。私わかるもん。なんか私のけ者にされたって感じするもん。
のけ者になんかしていないさ。
する。なんかする。
つべこべ言ってねえで早く用意しろ。みんな集まってんだぜ。
Right, so the majority of the fetus's scenes, all we have to do is change the color of the sky. That's all.
Yeah, that's so 80s. The pink hair, the bustier thing, yeah, that's so 80s.
Hey, it's the old
Even
guy
the
from
opiate.
the
Yeah,
Monster, whatever it was called.
yeah.
Cross Frontier better have some good music. That's all I'm saying.
I'll let you judge by yourself.
Man, I can't imagine Macross without music now. What were we doing before Minmay? Like, Minmay singing gets introduced, what, like 10, 12 episodes in?
About, yeah.
I mean, the actual singing, not the fact that she wants to be a singer.
No, yeah, I know. No,
Yeah.
I think, no, she sings to Hikaru when they're trapped together. She briefly sings.
Right, I'm not counting that, though. I meant, like, when
Yeah.
it becomes synonymous with a
When she
show.
becomes an idol, yeah, when she becomes idol, yeah. That's later. That's after Miss Macross, or during Miss Macross.
It just, you know, it's not been a single episode of Macross 7 that didn't have music. Like
No,
them
'cause, yeah,
singing.
Basara, that's what he
we
does. He
started. I'm
sings.
just saying that I've gotten used to that now. Because there's more episodes of Macross 7 than there are SDF Macross. I can't even imagine us watching SDF Macross without Minmay singing My Boyfriend's a Pilot.
Yeah.
Again, that's the problem with SDF Macross, though. It was the same song over and over again. At least this one, they introduced a variety.
I mean, but they also repeat a lot of the songs as well.
Yeah, but it's not all My Boyfriend's a Pilot.
Yeah. But she has like 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah,
I think they have about the
they
same
have a whole
repertoire of
album.
songs.
No, these people got on the show because they had an album.
ママが病気？どうしてのよ一体？
結婚？なんで俺がミレーヌと結婚しなくちゃならねえんだよ。
バサラとガムリンさん、どっちが好きだなんて聞かれても困っちゃうよ。次回、どっちが好きなの？
過激にファイヤー！
Well, we already know how that turns out.
Yeah. So it's I don't know if it's an attempt to give Basara background, or it's an attempt to say it doesn't matter that Basara doesn't have a background. Right? Because okay, he's a kid who wants to sing. He grows up to be an adult who wants to sing. He has a relationship with Ray that is deeper than we thought. That's good. But then during the series, Ray says, well, I don't know anything about anything. He just wants to sing. It's like, oh. I know why I think they took it out. I was like, yeah, this is so contradictory even for us that we need to cut it out.
I don't know that it matters. It was a good episode. Like, I
was
enjoyed all the
fine.
parts of it. Well, I mean, all we had before on Bizarro, he wanders around. He had a guitar. This at least adds something to him. He's got motivation.
What's a motivation? The same motivation he already had.
Family, I think.
Huh?
Family, I think. He just wants
Not
to be with
really.
Ray. Ray is his father figure now.
Yeah, but it feels more like Ray got Basara's motivation.
And then
Ray
he
didn't
wanted
have a motivation.
to feed his new family, so he even tried to sell his guitar for bread.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's motivation.
But ultimately, it's I just want to sing.
It's also funny because I guess that makes the fetus his mother figure.
Guess
Figure.
so.
Yeah, that's what I said. Somebody in my brain was like,
Yeah.
"Did you say the right word?" Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, but younger Basara was more expressive than older Basara. Somehow that separation caused us like, wow, I'm just well, if I've lost control over my life, then I'm not going to explain anything.
Well,
And we
he
don't
was
know
more
what
expressive
where
because
he
it was
went.
the first time he was being asked to leave Ray, which apparently he
Yeah.
did, because he then went off wandering again. And presumably he goes off wandering a third time away from Ray, because that Plus episode, he was even older than this, wandering solo. So, him and Ray have encountered each other 3 times in their lives.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It adds a lot to his backstory.
I don't think that should add so much of anything, to be honest.
Well, even a little bit is a lot. Because, we had nothing.
Didn't really have much. Yeah, nothing. But, in the absence of anything, something is, well, everything.
Yeah, something is always more than nothing.
Yeah.
And I think we got here. I mean, we got emotion. So, there was emotion coming from that.
At least a little bit of emotion coming from Basara, other than angry because he can't sing or excited because he can.
Well, he almost gave up singing. That's playing music. I'm assuming he would stop singing without the guitar. But he almost gave it up to make sure that his family got fed. I mean, that's pretty big.
Well, literally.
I
The
don't.
fetus being this was full size. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay. I wasn't putting your two things together. I mean, that was good. That was good. I appreciate it if the other episodes are just as good as that one, because, I mean, that one could have been slotted into the main line, and I think it would have worked fine.
I mean, again, it feels like they took out something that was important to his character. It was kind of messy, though, because, they're going back and forth, and then they end up with a concert. Oh, we're going to have a concert because that's how we do things. Okay, fine. We've seen that before. Doesn't really matter. They just have concerts because Basara needs to sing. I guess.
We've seen them have concerts on like the backs of alleyways, so
yeah, so that's not a thing. But it's like, and we don't know how true that backstory really is. We assume it is because again, we don't have any other. And if that's it, and by the way, if this is televised, how come? What's her name? Marlene doesn't know about it.
Which thing?
About Basara's background. She keeps asking, Basara this, Basara that, and Ray's like,
obviously this takes place further into the series than when she was asking about backgrounds.
She keeps asking after a while.
No, she stops asking after a while. In fact, she asked Ray and she asked Akiko and Ray, but that was when around the time that Civil is inhabiting Akiko, so halfway through the show, I want to say. And this obviously, this obviously would have had to take place after that. In which case, this might be the reason why she stops asking.
I guess so. If she believes the show. I mean, but even then, Ray knows about where Basara, well, mostly knows about Basara. He could have said, yes, that's true, that's false. This is what I know, this is not what I know, I met him here, Yeah,
I think they're all about privacy, though. They don't like talking about each other's past.
Okay, these people go into battle together. I know Basara doesn't consider it to be battle, but they go to battle and try to save cities, Macross 7. I think sharing a little bit of who you are, helps bonding.
I mean, it depends on your relationship. Obviously, they disagree.
Again, it actually makes me feel that this should have been part of the series and got taken out. And if it wasn't in the main series, it doesn't really count for me.
Well, I disagree with you there. I think if they made it and then they released it, then it's official, so it counts.
Well, it does. It doesn't. It counts, but it takes a. In many ways, it makes the original kind of feel worse because it should have been there and it lacked this.
I don't know. I can't think of this the same way you do. For me, it's like everything Macross 7 is in one bucket. The pluses, the encores, whatever that other thing is, the movie, the show, it's all in one bucket. It's all released material, so I count it all together. So I'm not judging Macross 7 based on what I see in Plus or what I see in Encore.
If you never get to see this, then
well,
in order for
that's a false argument, though. I feel like because we are going to watch it, like for the person,
but the average person probably never saw it.
Well, we're not them though. I'm not considering my point of view of if I was somebody else. That would be, man. I wonder if I could. Stoneface reactions, 3 of me reacting to the show on my own each time. I react to a show. I react to a show once, and then I sit down and I replay my reaction, and I start reacting to the show as also reacting to the other me. Anyway,
I think it's
just a thought you threw in my head.
It's poor writing. You know, if this should have been part of the series.
I'm just saying that I'm not going to judge it as another person who didn't. To me, this doesn't fall under the argument that I get in like Gundam sometimes, where people are like, well, the tech manual says this, or if you read the manga says this is why this is happening. Those are outside material because they're not in this. That's different from visual material. Like, I believe Encore was on the Blu-ray.
So if you get the Blu-ray, then you get it. But
right. Well, again, though, it's all visual medium, though. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna read Jurassic Park to understand the movie Jurassic Park. But if they here's a couple of deleted scenes from Jurassic Park that explain some stuff, that's visual medium. I can consume that in the same way and at the same time as what I'm already doing.
To me, it actually says it might be fine by itself, but it actually says to me that the original is weaker. If you have to, it reminds me of BSG. Where they literally made at the end of the show, they made a mini series called The Plan because they never explained what the plan was in the series or whether or not there was a plan. You had to make something extra, like, oh yeah, oh wow, the plan, yeah, the thing that was the premise of the show for at least 3 seasons 2 seasons before we abandoned it in the middle of the 2nd season. Yeah, let's make a mini series about that. You're like, oh, now you're doing it.
See, that's the thing, though, is I would consider the plan to be part of Battlestar Galactica, and then I would judge it as a whole, not... If I was, reviewing just the plan, then I would say that kind of stuff that you're saying. But if I'm just regarding what are my thoughts on Battlestar Galactica in total, I'm not going to deride the remake for the plan stuff if they give me the plan stuff. I'm not separating it out. That's what the bucket metaphor was for. I'm saying I'm judging Macross 7 on.
I have to.
Yeah, well, we both watched that same Star Trek reviewer.
Steve Chives.
I was going to say Steven. Yeah,
it's Steve Chives.
He has that same mentality you do that I also dislike, where he's always like, "This is a new Star Trek show. We don't have to keep relying on everything from all the past shows." And it's like, it's a fucking shared universe. If you're gonna start making up new shit, I can watch The Expanse, right? I come to a Star Trek show for Star Trek shit. I don't want you to reinvent the universe. I want you to bring back the Klingons.
Canon and stuff like that, but I'm more of the, this should have been in the original because that's for the original to make sense. It should have been there.
I'm just talking about the mindset of isolating materials from the grander scope, right? If I was judging Voyager on its own, right? Well, these are my problems with Voyager, but if I'm regarding Voyager as part of the overall Star Trek universe, I'm gonna have deeper thoughts about stuff because there's other precedent in the Star Trek universe for a thing. I mean, it's not really a good example. I'm still just leaning on the fact that one guy wants things separated, and that seems to be what you're working with, is Macross 7 is not going to line up with Macross 7 Encore. Those are two completely different things, and I'm going to regard them as completely different. Well, I mean, that's what you're saying, right?
No, what I'm saying is that this material should have been in the original, which reflects badly on the original.
I think that. I guess I'm
this-
coming at it
in
completely opposite. It makes me appreciate it more that they decided to animate it and, you know, do everything for it because they felt it was needed, right?
But it points to me, it points to a weakness of the original, that this is stuff that we should have known about Basara and the relationship with Rey. We never got it. And, you know, the show's like, it doesn't
Maybe,
matter. It's like,
Maybe a better example would be like the differences in director's cuts, right? In that this is material that could appear on a director's cut of Macross 7, where we slot this episode into where it would have been. I don't.
Okay, let me put it this way: if I were to go to, let me put it: I go to the cinema and I watch a movie. I like it or dislike it on its own terms, right? And then I get the director's cut, which is stuff that should have been in the movie. Like, why didn't you put this in the movie? Now, if I like it and the stuff director cut expands on that, then I'm like, okay, I got better, but I didn't need that. This makes it better, but I didn't need it. This is a matter of need. But here, one of the reasons why I didn't like it is because this was, I consider it to be necessary material that should have been there. So this could have been better if I had it, but now I have to wait for this extra material to fill in the blanks. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I mean, I've understood you from the beginning. All my metaphors are just falling flat. Your idea of added material hurting the overall thing is just what I disagree with. I consider this to be a part of it. Just because it wasn't in the series doesn't take away its existence.
I think hurting the new material. I may have misspoken there. I think it reflects on the original, right? When you add this stuff and you go back, it's like, oh, okay, this was something that was necessary, and it doesn't reflect well on the original. Doesn't hurt it itself. Doesn't hurt it. It just exists.
Well, you're saying that its existence makes the other one feel poorly for not having it.
I mean, I'm saying that the other one was already poor, and this is an example why it was poor.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you that as a critique, if this was in the episodes, although I don't actually think it would actually help that much. I understand your critique is what I'm saying. Your critique being that this should have been part of the stuff instead of some of the dumb shit that we did get. At the same time, I feel like this would have been like tossing a life preserver to an already drowned man, right? Getting like one scene of Basara explaining himself and talking about his problems and what he wants in an ocean of him never doing that ever again would just frustrate you of why does he did it once, why is he never doing it anymore? It would be a reminder of your problems with Basara.
Yeah, and it's actually, the thing is, I think that if he doesn't do it again, it doesn't change the pattern. Like, I'm not talking at the beginning, but now I'm open up to these people, and I feel more like they're my family, so I can talk to them, including Mylene, who's our POV character most of the time. Like, oh, okay, so there's a change in relationship, but yeah, he's not going to do that. Not even this, not even in the end of this, he's like, oh yeah, this is what we do. Like,
that's what I'm saying. This works for me as a standalone because it doesn't. Oh, sudden onset rain. Okay. It works as a standalone because, again, I feel like the problem we would both have is, Basara is different here, and we would focus on that a lot in all of our complaints about how Basara is a bad main character. The main character should at least have some internal dialogue or something. I don't know. We should know what they're thinking and why they're doing shit. So to have this introduced and giving us this whole relationship tree and how he's emotional about Rey and all this other stuff, it would be really off-putting. I feel like actually having it into the series would have made the series a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Like, we don't get that emotion when Rey gets hurt and he has to go with Basara to the hangar, the secret military hangar, to get his red Valkyrie out. Yeah. He's not like, oh man, Rey, I can't believe it. You know, we've been through so much together. And he's like barely like, you better get off that tree and back to the hospital. You know, it's like nothing. There's nothing there. No reflection of this past that we're being shown.
Yeah.
And Ray really got off the bottle pretty quick.
Oh, we don't know how much time it took.
He was wandering through the desert drinking, and then we see him again. He's at the bar drinking. I'm pretty sure he's got a problem.
Oh yeah, definitely.
At some point,
anyway,
he became a hippie.
That was the first episode of what? How many?
I don't remember. It's 3 or 4.
Yeah. So we'll see how it shapes up. And we still have movies. Maybe by the end of all this, Macro 7 would have won me over. Maybe.
Yes. Some 1 or 2 things out of over 50. All right.
Yeah.
Either way. I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?